Pretend that you're in an elevator at one of your industry's trade shows. You're heading down to the lobby and the door is open on the 30th floor. You instantly recognize the executive who walks in and quickly glance at his name badge to confirm that he is the CEO of the most important account you'd like to start working with. You've never met him before, nor have you been able to generate any interest from his organization. You have 45 seconds to introduce yourself, explain what your company does in a way that the CEO would find interesting and applicable and would motivate him to take the action you suggest. Ready? Go. So how did you do? Even the most experienced professionals find this pressure-packed exercise difficult. When you're in this situation, avoid the 6 most common mistakes most salespeople make. First, they use truisms. That is, they believe their company's own marketing pitch, which makes claims that are not considered entirely true by the listener. As a result, they instantly lose credibility. Second, they describe themselves using buzzwords. They repeat industry buzzwords, or worse yet, they use technical buzzwords that are only known within their company. 3, they use fillers. They make too much small talk or ask frivolous questions that reduce their stature to the customer. 4th, they demean themselves or the listener. Their statements turn them into mere salespeople, not business problem solvers. They unintentionally demean the listener by asking impertinent questions or assuming that the listener knows exactly what they're talking about. 5th, they present an unreasonable close. They don't take into account that they're talking to a senior company leader, and they use a close that is unrealistic or demands too much of the customer. Lastly, they're incongruent. Their tone, pitch, and tempo of speech don't match. They speak too fast, and their quivering tone broadcasts that they're scared and nervous. Here's an example of a poor elevator pitch. Luke Skywalker, a salesperson for XYZ Technologies, is attending a trade show and happens to be in the elevator with Norman Bates, CIO at Wonderful Technologies. Hello, Norman. How are you today? This would be filler. Do you have a moment to talk? More filler. My name is Luke Skywalker, and I'm a sales rep, which demeans that he's a salesperson, for XYZ Technologies. Have you heard of XYZ Technologies? That demeans the listener. Well, we're a leading provider of business transformational outsourcing. Another buzzword. We have a unique extended hybrid implementation methodology, a technical buzzword. And do you have time for me to buy you a cup of coffee and hear more about it? It's a bit of an unreasonable close. A successful elevator pitch uses the following 6 sales linguistic structures. Softeners. A softener eases listeners into the next thought or is used to set expectations. When you say, "I'm sorry to bother you," you're using a pre-apologizing softener technique. Second, facts. A fact is an undisputed truth. Facts are recognized instantaneously. Third, metaphors. Stories, parables, and analogies that communicate ideas by using examples that people can relate to or identify with. Metaphors enable complex concepts and theories to be explained in an understandable, interesting, and persuasive manner. Fourth, suggestions. Foreground suggestions are direct and explicit. Consumer Reports gave our product the highest rating. Background suggestions are indirect and their meaning is inferred. One of their customers recently switched to our product. Fifth, fallback position. Every customer conversation is actually a verbal negotiation. Instead of giving ultimatums that force the customer to accept or reject your close, provide options from which customers can select from prepared in advance. And lastly, silence. Silence is important and useful in linguistics. It indicates you're listening and waiting for a response. Silence can actually be used to gain dominance during conversations. Here's an example of an elevator pitch that incorporates these linguistic structures. Norman: "Hi, I'm Luke Skywalker with XYZ Technologies. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm not sure if you're familiar with us, but we work with AT&T, a fact. They've had to reduce their IT costs during these tough times. I'm here because James Bond, the CIO of AT&T, is presenting a case study on how he cut IT costs by 20% using our outsourcing solution." Metaphor. There will be other CIOs from some of our other customers, including General Electric and Johnson & Johnson, speaking as well. Another fact and a background suggestion. The session is tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you can make it, a foreground suggestion and a softener. Pause, silence, waiting for response. That's too bad. I'd be delighted to send you this presentation, a fallback position. Great. Just to confirm your email address, that's norman.bates@wonderful.com. Is there anything else I should send it to? Okay, that's Ferris Bueller, your Vice President of Infrastructure. Thanks, Norman. You'll be hearing from me shortly. Your words are your most important competitive weapons. In this regard, your ability to deliver a compelling elevator pitch is crucial to achieve success. There are many sales situations where you have only a minute or two to conduct an entire sales call. You must be able to deliver a compelling and memorable message during this pressure-packed, time-sensitive encounter. Write down your elevator pitch and analyze its structure for the use of buzzwords, fillers, and truisms. Use language structures such as softeners, metaphors, and suggestions to improve its persuasiveness. And finally, be sure to practice your pitch aloud so your delivery is smooth and confident. Remember, a sales call can happen anywhere and at any time, so all of us should be prepared with an elevator pitch.